right, let's go. Welcome back into the Redzone Report, Week 10 edition, here to bring you your best bets and player props for Week 10 of the NFL. Coming out a little bit later than your usual time, been feeling a tiny bit under the weather lately, but we are back. We are good to go. Coming off a 2-4 best bet week, but 5-1 on the player props. We're absolutely killing the player props. 14-3 run at the moment in the last 3 weeks. So if you have been following the props, you have been cashing some tickets. Obviously, guys, before we get started, give it a massive like. Just give it a massive like. Give it a subscribe to the channel. Give it a comment and review as well to the channel. Spotify, podcast, 5 stars, whatever it takes, really does help build the channel early on. Let's get those views up. Love doing the Redzone Report. Obviously, guys, going to be bringing you my best bets for the week. I have got 6 again for you guys across 5 games, and of course 6 props here. Let's keep the prop train going, and let's get back into the positives with your best bets. And I'm going to start. Let's just get started right away. Obviously, I've got my rapid rundown as well, capping off the rest of the week. We've got 4 teams on the bye, so I have 9 more games on the rapid rundown. Obviously, my player props for you guys, giving you my SuperCoach update as well. Bit of another average sort of week, didn't have too much movement, but few break evens, a lot of highly traded players this week, it seems. And then obviously my survivor pick as well. I'm going to keep doing my survivor pick, even though I died in survivor about 4 weeks ago. Thank you, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And, of course, finishing off with the multi for the week. And your Hail Mary, 3 legs, 3 players, 2+ touchdowns. Let's bloody go. We're going to start Thursday night football. We have been cashing it on these Thursday night football games. Ravens, except last week, or honestly, I had the Ravens team total over 30.5. They absolutely cover the line heaps, but they finish on 28. 0 points in the last quarter. Can you bloody believe it? But I've got a ripping bet for you to start off the week. Raiders at the Broncos. AFC West matchup in this one. Seen a tiny bit of movement to the Raiders in this one, actually, and the total hasn't moved too much. It's moved from 42.5 to 43, but this is where I'm heading with the total here. And this is just screaming unders to me here. We're looking at a Raiders team that was 0-0 against the Jaguars last week at halftime. The game ended up going way over. Geno Smith had one of his better games, but this Jag secondary is nothing to get excited about. Now they're facing one of the better Broncos secondaries, one of the better secondaries in the league, one of the better pass rushers in the league. I get it. There's no Pat Surtain for the Broncos, but Geno is going to have a tough time on a short week. I get it. It's a division rival, but he's never played the Broncos really before because he's been with Seattle. Now he's going to go on the road at altitude against his pass rush. I don't think we're going to see the Geno that we saw last week. I think the Raiders are going to really struggle to score. In regards to Denver, they're in a bit of a hot streak at the moment. They're just sort of just winning games. They had a very, very scratchy win against Houston last week, where CJ Stroud got injured in the second quarter. This screams vibes of when they went to London and played the Jets. They were a similar point favorite, and they really struggled. Whether it was a flat spot, I don't think Bo Nix is amazing, honestly. I just think he's sort of getting the job done. I think it's a get in and get out job for Denver at the moment. I just want to sort of get the win. They're a big favorite, division rival. I don't think they're looking to put them to the sword. If you look at Denver's schedule, if you look who they've got next week, they have got an even bigger game against the Kansas City Chiefs. They will be looking ahead to that game, the biggest division game for them all season. I'm not sure that one's. I think that one's in Denver as well. That will almost decide who will win the AFC West. The Chargers are obviously lingering there as well, but this just screams of an under for Denver to get in and get out. Denver get the win, sort of 24 to I think maybe 10 or maybe 14 in this game. I don't see the over getting threatened at all in this game. Under 43 to start off your week. I said, give me Denver about 21 to 10 in this game here. Crossing to Monday morning here, crossing over on Redzone, Sunday in America. And honestly, I've got best bets all in the afternoon slate here, which is really unusual. Usually it's like the other way around. There's no best bets for the 4 a.m. games. I have got a few props, but we're going to start with the Detroit Lions heading to Washington in this one. This is an NFC divisional rematch from last year where Washington went into Detroit with Jaden Daniels as a rookie and absolutely cleaned up Detroit. Absolutely cleaned up as a 7.5 point dog. Now you got Jaden Daniels, broken arm last week in prime time, which was just brutal. I do hope he is doing okay, but Detroit Lions off a bad loss against the Vikings. One of the best trends going in the NFL at the moment, Dan Campbell off a loss is 12 and zip against the spread. 12 and zip against the spread. That means they bounced back pretty bloody well off a loss under Dan Campbell since he's started at Detroit there. I'm going to keep following that trend. I'm not going to take the spread. We have seen a bit of Commanders money today, bringing it down to that -8. I like the team total over 30.5. We watched Sam Darnold, and don't get me wrong, I've been a Panthers fan. I've been through the Sam Darnold experience. He looks way improved at Seattle. He looks happier. He was improved at Vikings as well. We've got to see it in the playoffs, so if he's really improved. But for the moment, we saw him absolutely pick apart this Washington defense in the first half. 4 touchdown passes, absolutely blitzed it, absolutely cleaned up. Went to halftime up 31-7. Which means the team total for the Lions, if this is the same scoreline, would have already cashed. I think Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta with Dan Campbell will be absolutely fired up for this clash here. Love a bit of playoff revenge. We know how Dan Campbell acts when he's looking for revenge. We saw him bolt up the score against Chicago, against his former assistant, former offensive coordinator early in the year. They put up 50 under Chicago. I would not be shocked if they put up very close to a 50 burger again in this clash here. Lions, even if they don't cover, I think they definitely clear the 30-point mark here. The offense is just too good. I get it. There's a couple O-linemen on the injury report at the moment that could be crucial, but this Washington defense is just brutal. I think this isn't a come-up spot for Washington after last week. I think that was season done for Washington last week, and they know it as well. I can see this being a huge down spot after getting embarrassed in primetime last week. Give me Detroit, team total over 30.5. That's got no juice on it either. You can get about $2 odds for that one there. Absolutely love Detroit this week. Rawr! Detroit, let's go. Next game. Oh, a few division games this week. I love it. We're going to be targeting both NFC West games this week, and that is Rams at the Niners in this one. Same slate in the afternoon. And we know, 5-6 weeks ago, Mac Jones' debut for the 49ers came into Los Angeles on Thursday Night Football and beat them outright in overtime. Absolutely picked apart that defense. Now we've got Rams as about a 4.5 point favorite now in this one here with a total of about 49. And if you got the -3 early in the week, massive congrats here. I do like the Rams -3. I think 4.5 is pretty fair though. But I think this game goes way over. The over 49.5. I believe I grabbed the over 48.5 earlier in the week. We saw the Niners absolutely pick apart this Rams defense earlier this season, right? With Mac Jones, I think this was a Kendrick Bourne game, 140 receiving yards. Mac Jones did this without any receivers. As I said, he had no Kittle, he had no Juwan Jennings, none of his star players. And now you've got the same deal, but now you've got Juwan Jennings, now you've got George Kittle back. I believe Shanahan really tears apart this McVay defense. And I can see McVay really tearing apart this Niners defense now. I think this Niners defense is shot. They received another injury last weekend or the weekend before. I liked the Giants team total last week to go over 23.5 a cash in the junk time TD. But we're going to see with Niners are going to be competitive. They're going to be in shootouts. And Niners game, they went over last week. They put up 30 plus against the Giants. I think they can go close to putting up nearly 30 against the Rams again, but I think the Rams will be able to put over 30 up against the Niners as well. Absolutely love the over in this clash here. If we get some good weather in San Fran, this could be an absolute shootout once again. As I said, if Niners want to stay competitive and win games, they're going to have to do shootouts. They're not going to win doing unders with good defense. They just have no defense at the moment. Crossing over to the other NFC West game, and we've got two bets for you in this game here. Cardinals off that Monday Night Football win in Dallas, which is pretty supreme win, absolute smash them. Heading to the talk of the town, the Seattle Seahawks off the other primetime win against Sunday Night Football. We just spoke about it against Washington. The stock could not be higher for Seattle at the moment, but this screams of a tiny bit of a flat spot for Seattle off that massive primetime victory, heading back west, heading home. Now they're going to play a division rival who they beat early in the year, 23-20, I believe it was, with the last-minute field goal to Seattle. I think Cardinals will want some same-season revenge in this one here. Cardinals 3-5 at the moment. All losses have been by a touchdown or less this season. They have been keeping it close as a dog, struggling to win as a favorite. Seattle, they've got Rams on the look ahead. A big NFC West division game next week. Almost will decide the division along with the Rams and Niners game this week. Huge clash. As I said, the stock for Seattle could not be any higher at no moment. And I actually rate this Arizona defense. I think they've got a solid secondary. I think they've got a solid pass rush. Sam Darnold, he's still Sam Darnold until I see it in the playoffs. I think this game goes under the total, under 45.5. I don't think Arizona will do too much against the Seattle pass rush. I just think it'll be a very low scoring game. And I like the Cardinals plus the 6.5 here. I think the Cardinals can keep Seattle at bay here. I just think both teams, it will be a bit of a grind for both teams here. I can definitely see Arizona sticking in it for a lot of the game. Maybe a cheeky little sprinkle on the money line. Is there an upset booming? I don't even think either team gets a 20 in this game. I just think it'll be a huge defensive battle. Same season revenge for the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett is playing pretty bloody well for Arizona at the moment. Looks like he is the QB1 for the Cardinals now. Kyler, he's got an injury out 4 to 8 weeks. Is it a soft benching? There's 8 weeks to go in the season. I don't think we're going to see Kyler Murray again this season. So, give me the Cardinals plus the 6.5, total of under 45.5 in this one here for the Redzone Report NFC West matchup. All right, and crossing to Monday Night Football. This is the game of the week. Could be a potential NFC title matchup here. The Philadelphia Eagles heading to the Green Bay Packers in this match here. It's on Monday Night Football. Packers 2.5 point favorite in this one here. We've got a total of 45. The line has not moved a whole lot. We've seen a tiny bit of under money from 45.5 down to 45. The line has stayed at Packers 2.5. Packers off that embarrassing loss at home to my Panthers, last week, a 13-point favorite. So they lost outright. To my Panthers. Eagles are off a bye, but we've seen the Packers this year. They are 5-2-1. They had a tie against Dallas, where they were 6-point favorites. They've had a loss against the Browns, a 7-point favorites, and a loss against the Panthers, a 13-point favorites. The other 5 wins have been very solid. They absolutely destroyed Detroit at the start of the season. They play up to teams, and they're playing down to teams this year. Now they've got the Super Bowl champions coming into town this week. I think the Eagles are a bit fraudy. I think this year. Like, Saquon's not playing as well as he should. Jalen Hurts, I don't rate Jalen Hurts really that much. AJ Brown looks like he's going to play. It's an interesting matchup. A lot of public money will be on Philly off a couple good wins heading into the bye. Packers off that horrible loss. This screams of a bounce back spot for the Packers in this one here. It was a big sandwich spot last week against Carolina. Packers get the job done here. Packers minus 2.5 on Monday Night Football. Packers get the win against the Super Bowl champions. NFC title match up. coming. We will see a rematch of these teams to get into the Super Bowl. All right, and that is my 6 best bets. There you go for the Red Zone Report. Absolutely love the look of this. We absolutely love it. So we're ready. We're going to get back into the positives, ready to cash some tickets, baby. And I want you to ride it with me. We're going to get into the next one, and that is the rapid rundown where I cover the other 9 games of the week for you. We have 4 teams on the bye this week. We've got the Chiefs, the Titans, the Cowboys, and the Bengals all on the bye this week. And 9 games for you, rapid rundown, where I cover the other games as quick as I can, give you my quick thoughts, where I either have no opinion, I either have a small lean, where it's not enough to make a bet. All right, rapid rundown for the rest of the week. Let's go. Falcons versus the Colts in Germany. Colts are a 6.5 point favorite, total of 48.5. I do lean the over in this one here. Colts should have gone over last week if they didn't have 6 turnovers. Giants at the Bears. Bears are a 3.5 point favorite, total of 47.5. I had a big lean to the over in this one. Just couldn't quite get there. These defenses are so bad. They're so bad. I think the Bears win, but I think the Giants are going to be able to put up some points. So I do lean the over. Saints at my Carolina Panthers, NFC South matchup. My Panthers are a 5.5 point favorite, a total of 40. I do lean the Saints in this one here. Stock is a bit higher for the Panthers at the moment. This screams of a flat spot off that huge win last week. I am afraid Panthers as a favorite. Saints may get a sneaky win in this one. I am hoping definitely for a Panthers win. Bills at Dolphins, AFC East matchup. We've got some division games this week, man. Dolphins, 9.5 point dog as well in this one. Total of 50. It's Bills or nothing. It's absolute Bills or nothing. Miami, they got crunched last week. I think that's the end. Bills, again, off that big win against KC. Is it a flat spot? Not quite sure. Not enough for me to lay 9.5 on the road. Browns at the Jets in the Tank Bowl. Jets are 2.5 point dog now. 37.5 point total after the Jets just trade away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. It's Browns or nothing for me in this one. Browns, it's so hard to lay 2.5 on the road with this team here. Browns should absolutely run it down the Jets' throat. I have no idea how the Jets will score. This could have 20-3 on it. This could be absolutely anything. I just want to stay away completely from this game here. Jags at the Texans, AFC South matchup here. Texans, 1.5 point dog, total of 37.5. CJ Stroud will not be starting. Davis Mills will get the start at quarterback. It's Jags or nothing for me in this one here. I saw what Davis Mills did last week. I did end up having a bet on the Texans last week, and Davis Mills absolutely just killed that bet. So Jags or nothing. I don't mind the Texans for same season revenge, so there you go. I have reasons to back both teams. I can't back a side in this one here. Pats at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tom Brady Bowl in this one. Tampa Bay, minus 2.5 point favorite, total of 48.5 off the bye. Pats are absolutely rolling at the moment. 6 wins in a row. I do think that does stop this week. I do lean Tampa Bay. I do also lean the over. I think Baker Mayfield will have one of his best games of the season. Ravens at the Vikings, the Purple Team Bowl in this one here. Vikings, 4.5 point dog after that big NFC North win against Lions last week. Total of 49. You got to back the over. If I'm nearly there, but this game indoors, 2 bad defenses. Lamar's back. I think JJ McCarthy might be able to pick apart this Ravens defense. I can't quite get there, but it does look like this could go into the 50s, this one here. And Sunday Night Football, to cap it off, the Steelers heading to the Chargers in this one. Chargers a 3 point favorite, total of 45. Steelers or nothing for me in the spot. Also the under. The Steelers will have the majority of fans there at this game in LA, despite it being a Chargers home game. Pittsburgh does travel well. They do have quite a lot of fans living in LA as well. Lean the Steelers in this one and the under. No Joe Alt for the Chargers. Generally, no Joe Alt. No good for the Chargers there. That does it for the rapid rundown there. The other 9 games for the week, giving you my leans or non-leans there. And crossing into what has been a hot diggity dog segment at the moment, and that is my player props. As I said, 5-1 last week. If you got JSN, if you backed his over, it closed 100.5. 100.5. It's just insane. They went 5-1. Week before, 6-0. Week before, 4-2. They're absolutely cooking at the moment. I'm reading it really well, doing some really good research on them, and I've got 6 more bangers for you this week. First one, we're going to go Thursday Night Football with the under, and that is Geno to go under 212.5 passing yards in this one here. There may be a chance the Raiders may be chasing in this game here, but I think Geno will just super struggle against this defense. I think they'll struggle to run the ball. I think they'll really struggle for yards in this one here. As I said, it just seems like a Denver get in and get out job. I think the defense will have to do a job for them. I think the offense will be flat. If the Raiders are in this game, there's no way they rely on Geno to pass this one for them. He had a good game last week, but again, Jag secondary, no good. Geno Smith, under 212.5 passing yards in this one here. Crossing over to Monday morning, and my favorite prop of the week so far. Got this at 59.5. We're seeing some way overs now. Jalen Waddle, over 65.5 receiving yards in this one here. He is essentially the only receiver on the Miami Dolphins here at the moment, and you're giving me 65.5. Ridiculous. He was about the same number last week against the Ravens. He cleared it easily. Miami is going to be in a position where they are chasing. They're going to have to throw the ball. I don't really rate this Bills secondary. You saw how many big explosive plays the Chiefs had last week against the Bills. I get it. I should not be comparing the Chiefs to Miami. I am sorry. But Waddle, he's still a good receiver. I think Tua should be good enough to at least get him the ball 4 or 5 times in this game. One big explosive play as well. Over 65.5 receiving yards. Jalen Waddle. Crossing over to my Panthers boys against the Saints, and if the game script goes as what I think it will in this one, a tight game, maybe Panthers get a blowout, Panthers should absolutely run the shit out of the ball down the Saints' throats. It's Rico Dowdle season, baby. We're absolutely running it. He should go close to over 100. He should go close to running it 20 times a game in this one. If Panthers are in a winning position, I don't think they'll be chasing, but if it's a tight game, I still think they'll run. Give me Bryce Young to go under 27.5 pass attempts in this one. He had 20 last week against Green Bay. Just 20. If it's a similar situation, I don't think they'll put the ball in Bryce's hands. I can see him easily going under 27.5 pass attempts. My favorite prop of the week, I think, in this one. I've got some bangers this week, man. I absolutely love these 6. But DeAndre Swift against this Giants run defense, I think he can easily go over 60.5 rush yards. I think he'll go close to 100. We saw what CMC did against last week against the Giants rush defense. Again, I shouldn't be comparing DeAndre Swift to Christian McCaffrey, but I am. Game situation as well. If the Bears are leading, they will run the ball. Can you trust Caleb Williams? I don't know. I get it. He got that game-winning touchdown last week with Loveland, but before that, he wasn't that amazing, really, I thought. Picked apart an easy Bengals defense. I think they should be running the ball a heap in this game here. DeAndre Swift, over 60.5 rush yards in this one here. 2 more to go for the week. And Baker Mayfield to go over 255.5 pass yards in this game. This one is just simply too low. Baker Mayfield, potential MVP. Drake May, potential MVP. I think Baker Mayfield will look at that as a sort of a duel. I think off the bye, he'll be a bit healthier now. With potential of Chris Godwin back, you got Emeka Egbuka. One of these two will be open the whole time. This Patriots secondary isn't that amazing. The Patriots' run defense is what is amazing. But I think Baker will tear apart this Patriots secondary. If it goes over, if it's a shootout like what I think Baker goes close to 300 pass yards in this one here. And the last one for the week. This one is just disrespectful in my opinion. Detroit secondary, that is pretty weak. And you've got one of the best wide receivers in the league, Justin Jefferson, 76.5. 76.5. What are we playing at here? Sorry, the Vikings are playing the Ravens. Excuse me. My bad. They played Detroit last week. Jefferson, over 76.5 receiving yards in this one. JJ McCarthy. So both JJ to JJ. JJ McCarthy, second game back. I think he'll sort of be a bit more comfortable in this situation. Again, I don't like this Ravens secondary. I think it's absolute arse. And you've given me one of the best wide receivers in the league at 76.5. We're in a game, they're a dog. They should be chasing. He's going to clip 100, guys. This is just disrespectful lines. Give me Justin Jefferson over 76.5 receiving yards to finish off the prop segment for you guys. We're absolutely running hot. As I said, 14-3 the last 3 weeks. Crossing over to a bit of SuperCoach chat in this one here. And we had a bit of a blasé week in all honesty. I captained Mahomes. I should have captained Josh Allen. I didn't play Colston Loveland. I played Jake Ferguson. That was average. Missed out there. I also played the Patriots defense against over the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense has been so bad. Now they get 6 turnovers. So I missed out on a lot of points last week. I scored 453. I went up 439 spots, back inside the top 5K, 4.7K. Spoke in the show last week, I wasn't going to make a trade, but with Travis Hunter later in the week going on IR, potentially season ending, I had to trade him. I think if you've got him still, trade him. I ended up going a bit of a pod play. I ended up getting DK, the wide receiver from the Titans. It's sort of all I could really afford as well. I'm slightly regretting it at the moment. He had 2 good games. He had 80 receiving yards, 70 receiving yards, and then he comes out and plonks a cheeky little 5 receiving yards on me. Did absolutely FA. Sweet fuck all for me there. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. He's on the bye this week. We'll see how he bounces back next week. Top sort of 2 traded in players, or top 3, excuse me. We've got Brock Bowers, which is pretty fair, off 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua. Doesn't surprise me. I told you guys over and over, do not trade out Puka Nacua. You'll want him when he gets back into the team. And Lamar Jackson as well, which doesn't surprise me. However, I am wanting Lamar. I just want his cash to drop just a tiny bit more. His break-even is still quite high. In regards to trading out, we've got Tyler Warren, which is, I find that really interesting. He could be a fun offensive rookie of the year. I would be trading out like a Jake Ferguson before Tyler Warren. We'll see. I think Tyler Warren's a baller, man. I think he would not be surprised if he bounced back this week. And Patrick Mahomes is another one trade out. I get it, he's on the bye. I get it, he had a crap game last week, but still, he's the leading point scorer in the whole of SuperCoach, guys. Come on, guys. Let's be real. If you've got Patrick Mahomes, hold him. Unless you had a really bad backup quarterback. I've got Jackson Dart. I'm not complaining about Jackson Dart. I'll happily play him against the Chicago defense this week. In regards to break-evens, the lowest break-evens for your week, top 3, we've got Colston Loveland, who I do own, unfortunately, minus 29 break-even. Jacoby Brissett for Arizona, what an absolute surprise, minus 23 break-even. And the Browns defense, minus 23 break-even, obviously coming off a big game against Miami. I forgot who. They played the Patriots after that, which was a bit blasé. They had the bye, and now they play the Jets. So if you do have the Browns defense, or you are looking for a defense, I would definitely be getting the Browns. Best part of their team, 100%. Absolutely no question about it. In regards to your high break evens, Godwin may be back for the Bucks. 86 break even. If you are looking at Godwin, I'd wait a few weeks for sure. His cash will definitely drop. Same with Baker Mayfield as well. If you are someone who is looking for a bit of a pod play in a couple weeks, he's got 78 break even. I think he'll have a good game this week, but I would be, again, waiting a week, 2 weeks. And same with Lamar Jackson. He may pick apart this Vikings defense, but he is bound to lose a little bit of cash this week. If you're not someone who's strapped for cash and you just want points, I say go for it. I am looking to go Jackson Dart to Lamar in 2 weeks, I reckon, when Lamar drops a little bit more cash. And then Bijan Robinson. I spoke about him a little bit last week. This Atlanta is just not running the ball with him. I don't get it. He had over 200 yards against Buffalo 3 weeks ago, and then he's done nothing since. They're just not giving him the ball. 75 break even. I'm sort of considering it, trading him out. He's got a high break even. He's lost a tiny bit of cash now, but who do you trade him to? I've got CMC. I've got Saquon. Who else have I got? I've also got Bijan. I've got Ashton Jonty still. I've got Quinton Judkins. Jonathan Taylor's too much cash for me. I'm just not quite sure. I think he'll be back. I think he'll be okay. I've got a lot of trades, guys. I've got 15 trades to go with 8 weeks left with 3 boost as well. I just can't quite pick who I want. Maybe I should really start targeting attacking a bit more. Captaincy wise, easy one for me. Josh Allen, absolute undoubted against this Miami defense. Shout out Mangosteen T. That is my super coach, how it is looking for this week. I'm not even bothering with a VC. I don't really have anyone in the Raiders that's worth it. I don't really have anyone from Denver either. Crossing over to Survivor. And as I said, I am not a Survivor anymore, thanks to Buffalo a few weeks ago. But if you are still part of Survivor, if you're in a couple leagues, I would be looking at Denver for sure. They should win this one. Honestly, it would be a shocking one if they did lose. I was going to put Buffalo in there, but obviously, like, I've used Buffalo already, so if I was still going, I couldn't use Buffalo. I wouldn't use the Panthers. I don't know if I'd use the Ravens. Who else is there? I don't know if I'd use Seattle. I think Arizona's a bit of a wild card one this week, so I think Denver, they should get the win this week. I'd be backing Denver. And to finish it off, the Red Zone Report, my multi for the week with cash one already this season to cover us for the rest of the season and next year as well. 5 legs that I absolutely love from my best bets generally and player props. Give you some good odds. This week, pay $61 for you guys this week. We're going to go Jalen Waddle, 70-plus receiving yards. We're going to go Baker Mayfield, 275-plus passing yards. DeAndre Swift, 80-plus rush yards. Detroit Lions over 30.5 team total, and finish it off on Monday Night Football with the Packers minus 2.5 in this clash here. $61, $10 returns $610 in this one, baby. Let's go. And let's cap it off. My Hail Mary. We have not hit one this year. However, they are always at extreme odds, over 400 to 1 generally. I think we've had 2 legs down potentially so far, like leg 1 and leg 3. We're getting close. This one this week, 445 to 1. Here we go. DeAndre Swift, Justin Jefferson, Emike Egbuka, 445 to 1. $10 returns $4,450, baby. If we get that, we're going on holiday, baby. Let's win it. Let's bloody go. 3 players to give you all the glory. Let's do a recap of the Red Zone Report for Week 10. 6 best bets, as I said, starting off Thursday Night Football, under 43 in the Raiders and Broncos game. Lions team total 30 and over 30.5 against Washington Commanders. Rams and Niners over 49.5 in the NFC West matchup. In the other NFC West matchup, Arizona Cardinals plus 6.5 with the under 45.5 in this one here. And cap it off, the game of the week, the Green Bay Packers to beat the Eagles minus 2.5 in this one at Lambeau Field. By player props for the week, 6 of them for you. Geno Smith under 212 pass yards. Jalen Waddle over 65.5 receiving yards. Bryce Young under 27.5 pass attempts. DeAndre Swift over 60.5 rush yards. Baker Mayfield over 255.5 pass yards. And Justin Jefferson over 76.5 receiving yards. The multi for the week, 5 legs. Jalen Waddle, 70-plus receiving yards. Baker, 275-plus pass yards. Swift for 80-plus rush yards. Lions over 30.5 team total. And Packers minus 2.5. 61 to 1. $10 returns $610. And to cap it off for the episode, my Hail Mary 2+ touchdown parlay. DeAndre Swift, Justin Jefferson, and Emike Egbuka from the Buccaneers. 445 to 1. $10, baby, returns $4,450. Let's bloody go. I am absolutely amped for this week. My favorite episode of the week, the Red Zone Report. That has been it. 6 best bets, 6 player props, SuperCoach chat, rapid rundown, Survivor, multis, Hail Marys. That'll do it for this week. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to give it a massive like and a comment. Your best bet for the week. Give the channel a subscribe as well. Giving it a review on the Spotify and podcast as well. Follow my socials, all at Scooshy Sports as well. That'll be it for Red Zone Week 10 edition. I'll see you next week to review the Ashes and the Pac Championships final. Let's go Kiwis. Let's go Panthers. That'll do it. Thank you so much for watching, and cheers.